What happens when a movie takes one of the biggest opening weekends in Hollywood history, then suddenly loses more than half its daily audience, and still manages to make history? That's exactly what is happening with Spider-Man: Brand New Day, because despite a brutal second-week drop, Tom Holland's latest web-slinging adventure has just crossed another massive domestic milestone faster than any movie before it. The numbers are almost hard to process. After opening to roughly $360 million in the United States and Canada, Brand New Day tore through the $500 million domestic mark in just 7 days, becoming the fastest movie ever to reach that number. Now, after an estimated $43 million second Friday, the film has pushed its North American total to about $553 million. That means it crossed $550 million in only 8 days, another benchmark that shows just how enormous that opening week really was. And here's where things get interesting. A $43 million second Friday might sound like a huge number, because it is, but compared with the film's gigantic opening, it represents a major decline. That's the strange position Brand New Day finds itself in right now. The percentage drop looks harsh, but the actual dollars are still extraordinary. In other words, Spider-Man can take a serious hit and still make more money in one Friday than most major movies make in an entire opening weekend. The bigger story is the comparison with Avengers: Endgame. Endgame opened domestically to around $357 million back in 2019 and immediately became the benchmark for blockbuster box office. Brand New Day has already taken that opening weekend record away, finishing its debut at roughly $360 million. And now, with its second Friday estimated at $43 million, Spider-Man is once again putting daylight between itself and Endgame when it comes to second weekend performance. Think about the scale of that for a second. Endgame wasn't just another Marvel movie. It was the culmination of more than a decade of interconnected stories, with audiences waiting years to see that chapter conclude. Brand New Day is doing something very different. Instead of relying entirely on a massive Avengers crossover, the movie is putting the spotlight back on Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, and on a more personal chapter of the Spider-Man story. That approach appears to be connecting with audiences in a big way. The movie centers on a Peter Parker who has been forgotten by the people around him and is essentially living alone while continuing his life as Spider-Man. That emotional isolation gives the film a different hook from the spectacle-heavy Marvel stories audiences have become accustomed to, and early audience response has been extremely strong. Reuters reported a 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes alongside a 90% critic score shortly after release. But there's another reason these numbers matter. Hollywood has spent the last few years debating whether superhero movies still have the power to bring massive crowds into theaters. Several major comic book releases have struggled, and the industry has been trying to figure out whether audiences are tired of the formula. Spider-Man is now providing a very loud answer. At least for this character, theatrical demand is still enormous. And the timing couldn't be more important for Sony and Marvel. Brand New Day reportedly carries a production budget of about $225 million before marketing, so a domestic total above $550 million this early gives the movie an enormous financial cushion as it continues its theatrical run. Internationally, the film has also been racing toward, and beyond, the billion-dollar milestone, showing that the Spider-Man brand remains one of the most powerful global properties in entertainment. Now the question is no longer whether Spider-Man: Brand New Day is a hit. That's already settled. The real question is how high this thing can go. With the second weekend expected to land somewhere around the $140 million to $150 million range based on current estimates, the film is positioned for another enormous weekend, even after that steep percentage decline. Those estimates could still change as Saturday and Sunday numbers come in, so the final total remains in motion. And that may be the most remarkable part of this entire box office story. Spider-Man: Brand New Day doesn't need to behave like a normal movie to become a historic success. It can drop sharply, slow down, and still set records because the opening was simply that enormous. A character who has been swinging through theaters for decades has somehow found another level, and if this momentum continues, Hollywood may soon have an even bigger Spider-Man question to answer. Can Brand New Day challenge the all-time domestic box office records before its run is over? If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Unix Media, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news. Thanks for watching.